How are you this morning?
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, you must be excited because the Capitol bill just got signed.
It's going to put a lot of people back to work. It's a long time coming. It's been 10 years since George Ryan passed the last Capitol bill, and we ran out of projects within 3 or 4 years. And you drive around the roads, and you know that they need major help. And this also puts additional money into rail infrastructure. We really think that Amtrak will, this will be the kickstart to get rail service through Rockford.
Right.
We're looking at school construction, civic buildings like the Metro Center got over $4 million. So it's a major jobs program, and it should last for about 4 years.
Now, your district, you encompass parts of Rockford, but
Right.
you live in Sherland. But
Right.
how big is your district?
I go from on the west side of the river, Auburn Street. On the east side, it's Spring Creek and Spring Brook Road.
Okay.
So Rock Valley College is right on the southern boundary of my district.
Okay.
And in general, it's I-90 west of Meridian Road. So
Okay.
all of Owen Township, Harlem Township, all of Rockton, most of Roscoe, and then about 20,000 people in Rockford.
And when did you get first elected?
I was elected in 1994, took office in January 95, so this is my 15th year of suffering through the budget woes that we have.
Well, speaking of that, what do you think is going to happen in the next few weeks? I mean,
this current week, in fact, as we're taping, I'm ready to leave for Springfield. Another special session called trying to use the money that we have available and spread it as evenly and fairly around the state as possible. The problem is that with what the Speaker and the Senate President did is use the available resources and paid all the state agencies basically 100% of their needs, including a 4.5% pay hike for the unionized state employees. Then they turned around, and at the end of the budget cycle, they didn't have enough money left. So they said to the local agencies, you know, the Janet Waddell Center, the Rosecrans, Goldie Floberg, the probably 40 or 50 agencies in Rockford and hundreds spread all over the state. We don't have enough money, we'll give you 50 cents on the dollar. And you can't do that when you're a nonprofit. They don't have reserves built up. They've already haven't seen increases in their reimbursement for the state for over 10 years. And then to cut them in half is absolutely almost criminal.
Yeah, we had some video of that. There was a lot of protest on this a couple weeks ago down in Rockford. Yeah, you can see all the social service providers. Yeah, and there were some town hall meetings last night with Representative Jefferson and Zimmerson.
We were out at Rockford College.
Yeah, so
probably
it's just
100
like my
people.
wife was there. She said it was just terrible. The news is not good.
No, and what we're trying to do, as I'm headed down there, and of course when this airs, we'll actually know what happened, but we probably will be looking at a 5-month budget to get us through November, using the available resources, and the only additional money they've come up with is additional borrowing.
Yeah.
They're going to pay over $3 billion of our current obligations to the pension funds by borrowing on a 5-year note. That just creates a huge hole next year that we have no money to backfill for next year. And the economy's, if we had $1 billion in growth, we considered that a good year for state revenue. This year's hole's over $3 billion minimum, and next year probably $4 billion. So even if the economy came steaming back, we're still going to be very short of cash for state agencies and the local agencies that haven't been funded. But the idea is we need to go in and cut the state agencies, look at furlough days or reductions in the number of headcount. The governor's already sent out layoff notices for 2,600 people. I believe there will be another round in November of another 2,500. But a 10% reduction for state agencies will give us money to then put into the local, the frontline troops, if you will, in our communities, where we, instead of giving them 50%, we can get up to 90 or 95% of their previous grants. And remember, they're running very lean operations, not having had any reimbursement increases, and they are raising money in the community. They've got boards of volunteers. So much is being done that is not being paid by the state. Why are we devastating them? And that was the message from last night's meeting. We're devastating the disabled, those who are mentally handicapped, child care agencies, and elder care, those are the most vulnerable citizens. And it's almost like the Democratic leadership said, well, you're vulnerable, you're weak, we can take advantage of you, but we want to keep our unionized employees happy so they don't strike.
Now, why do all the state employees, and I don't want to insult you because you're a state employee too, I guess you get a pension as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why do all the state employees deserve to retire when they're in their early 50s and then just get full pay for the rest of their life with benefits?
And we don't agree with that. We have to change. Unfortunately, there's constitutional provision in the federal that was a contract that was signed between that state employee and the state government when they started state employment. And you can't roll back on that contract. It would be thrown out in court immediately if we tried to reduce the benefits for current employees. What we're simply trying to do is look at any new hires and say, look, private industry has gone to a defined benefit. If you put aside $5,000 a year from the company resources and from your own, that's your contribution, and you're going to get that when you retire. And there's some tax advantages to that, but save during your lifetime so that you have something to retire on. But we're not going to give you 80% of your final salary. And we've seen so many cases where state employees have finagled the system the last 6 months. They'll get a major increase in salary and then base their pension. They never paid in on that salary. Yeah. So we have to change the structure for all new employees.
So you're saying we can't do anything about the ones that we've already got?
We have never found a constitutional way around it. Now, we can go after the health benefits, any other than the actual pension payment. We can say, and the state has been very generous with its health contributions for retirees, and say we can't afford it. We're turning around and taxing the private citizens, the taxpayers, raising money on them. We can't simply do it to save the pensions of the state employees and their health benefits.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting, and we could talk about that all day long because there are people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and they've long retired, and they're living.
And the worst is the University of Illinois football coach. He has the highest salary of any state employee.
Yeah, Ron Zook.
Yeah.
Yeah.